Hay nako. Promoting rest and sleep. Use of drugs. So, meron tayong barbiturates, cyclobarbital sodium, Seconal, phenobarbital sodium, Nembutal. Tapos meron din tayong non-barbiturates na chloral hydrate and flurazepam or Dalmine. After all pre-op treatments have been completed, if a second barbiturate is needed, dapat ibibigay siya at least 4 hours bago yung pre-op medications na due. So, immediate preoperative nursing interventions, day of surgery. So, dapat naka-hospital gown kapag mahaba yung buhok ng patient, dapat i-braid, tatanggalin ng hairpins, naka-cover ang head completely ng disposable paper cup. Mouth is inspected, walang dentures, walang plates, jewelry is not worn during operation rooms. Wedding rings and jewelry of body piercings should be removed to prevent injury. Sa all articles of value, including assistive devices, dentures, glasses, prosthetic devices, pinibigay sa family with the label ng patient's name and or di kaya ini-store sa safe place according sa institution's policy. So, lahat ng patient, maliban dun sa may mga urologic disorders, ay pinapaihi bago pumunta sa OR para mag-promote ng continence during low abdominal surgery para ma-make din na ma-make much accessible yung mga abdominal organs. So, urinary catheterization ay piniperform sa OR if kailangan. So, preoperative medications, binibigay 60 to 90 minutes bago magbigay ng anesthesia. Ang purposes nito ay to allay the anxiety, mabawasan yung pharyngeal secretions, tapos gumagamit tayo ng atropine doon. Nagre-reduce ng amount of anesthesia na kailangan ibigay. Nagre-create ng anesthesia para sa amnesia para sa mga patient na supposedly dapat mamalimutan during surgery. And then, ang patient ay nasa bed, naka-side rails up, kasi pwedeng mag-cause ng lightheadedness or drowsiness. Dapat mag-observe tayo for untoward reaction sa medication, kung meron mang allergies. And then, immediate surroundings are kept quiet to promote relaxation. So, types of preoperative medications, meron tayong sedative na binibigay to lower anxiety, to lower BP, nababado ng pulse, nire-reduce yung general anesthesia na kailangan, and kapag na-overdose, kasi dito, pwede mag-cause ng respiratory depression. So, we have phenobarbital sodium, non-nembutal, and secobarbital. Tranquilizers, nag-lower ng anxiety ng patient. Thorazine, 12.5 to 25 mg IM, 1 to 2 hours prior to surgery. Ganun din yung Phenergan. And nagkakos yun ng dangerous hypotension during the surgery and after the surgery. Narcotic analgesia binibigay sa mga patient to reduce anxiety and para mabawasan yung amount ng narcotics na binibigay during surgery. So, morphine sulfate, 8 to 15 mg subcutaneously, 1 hour pre-off can cause vomiting, respiratory depression, and postural hypertension. So, vagolytic or drying agent, yun nga yung nagbabawas ng neto ng pharyngeal secretions katulad ng atropine or atropine sulfate, 0.3 to 0.6 mg IM, 45 minutes bago mag-surgery. Ang overdose neto ay nagkakos ng severe tachycardia. Binibigay siya to reduce the tracheobronchial secretions na pwedeng mag-clog sa pulmonary tree and magkakos ng atelectasis or pneumonia sa patient natin. So, to interrupt vagal nerve impulses which act slow to the heart. Ang ibang gamot na binibigay sa patient ay H2 blockers and antiemetic. And maintaining the pre-operative record, kailangan merong pre-operative checklist na nagko-contain ng critical elements na kailangan i-check bago mag-opera. And dapat completed yung chart, ina-accompany yung patient. Kasama ng chart, kasama ng patient yung completed na chart bago siya pumunta ng OR. And kasama doon yung surgical consent, pati yung mga laboratory reports and yung mga record ng nurse. Kahit anong unusual last-minute observation ay nilalagay sa front ng chart, which is mabilis makita. So, ayan yung sample ng checklist natin. So, transporting the patient to the pre-surgical area. Ang patient ay tinatransfer sa holding area or pre-surgical suite in a bed on a stretcher 30 to 60 minutes bago magbigay ng anesthesia. Yung stretcher dapat comfortable as possible with sufficient amount of blankets para hindi masyadong lamigin yung patient. Merong small head pillow. Dapat sa pre-op daw, patient safety is priority. Verify the patient identification, the surgical procedure, and the surgical site maximizes patient safety. So, important talaga na ang patient ay hindi pwedeng maging mag-isa or dapat pre-operatively, dapat lagi siyang may kasama na magre-reassure sa kanya. Facial expressions or the warm grasp of the hand is a great communicator ng reassurance non-verbally. So, mag-a-attend din tayo sa family needs. Sa may waiting room sila nakapwesto. Pati yung mga significant others equipped with comfortable chairs, TV, telephones, facilities for life refreshment. Meron din tayong coffee. So, kinikip natin yung family informed sa kung ano nang mangyayari sa patient, kung ano na yung progress niya. After the surgery, yung surgeon is imimit niya yung family sa waiting room and i-discuss kung ano nangyari or yung outcome. So, patient pwede siyang magtagal sa OR kahit na hindi naman ganun yung supposedly scheduled time kasi minsan masyadong advanced yung operating time. Then, yung anesthesiologists or anesthetists, sometimes they take 30 to 60 minutes na additional preparations and yung surgeon, pwede kasi siyang malate from the previous case, which is nagde-delay sa procedure nga natin. So, evaluation, expected patient outcome. Dapat ang patient ay magre-report ng relief of anxiety. Magdi-discuss sa anesthesiologist and anesthetist ng concern niya during sa anesthesia and induction. Mag-verbalize ng understanding niya sa pre-anesthetic medication and general anesthesia. Di-discuss yung last-minute concerns niya with nurse or physician. Di-discuss yung financial concerns niya with social worker. Kapag appropriate, magre-request ng member of clergy when appropriate, magre-relax quietly after visited by healthcare team members. So, magre-report siya na bumaba na yung takot niya, hindi na siya ganun natatakot. And, i-discuss niya din yung fears niya with healthcare professionals and i-verbalize niya yung understanding na kung nasan yung family niya or significant others niya during the procedure. So, sa evaluation, voices understanding of surgical intervention, nagpa-participate pre-operatively sa mga preparation, nagda-demonstrate and nagda-describe ng exercises he or she is expected to perform post-operatively, nagre-review ng information about post-operative case, nag-accept ng pre-anesthetic medication if prescribed, magre-remain sa bed. Once pre-medicated, magre-relax during transportation sa OR unit. Mag-state ng rationale sa kung ano importance ng side rails. Mag-show ng evidence of pre-operative hindi mag-show ng evidence of pre-operative complications. So, sa intra-op na tayo, here we have the surgical team. The surgical team have members which we call as PAS-NS or patient anesthesiologist or anesthetist, surgeon, nursing, surgical technologist. So, ang patient ay mag-enter sa OR. Pwede daw siyang makaramdam ng pagiging relaxed, pagiging prepared, pwede din maging fearful or highly stressed. Yung mga fears niya, pwedeng generalized anxiety, loss of control, the unknown, pain, death, yung changes niya sa body structure, function, and disruption ng lifestyle. Sa gerontologic consideration, yung mga matatanda kasi, meron silang higher risk from anesthesia and surgery kaysa sa mga mas bata. Meron silang cardiovascular and pulmonary changes na nagre-reduce ng cardiac output and limited cardiac reserve lang yung meron sila. Kaya vulnerable sila sa changes in circulating volume and blood glucose levels. Excessive or rapid administration ng IV solution ay nagkakos ng pulmonary edema, and now we have the circulating nurse. So, tinatawag din siyang circulator, and dapat registered nurse siya. Siya ay nagmamanage ng OR, nagpaprotect ng patient safety and health, nagmamonitor ng activities sa surgical team, nag-check ng OR conditions, nag-assess sa patient for signs of injury and implementing appropriate interventions. So, sa biologic variations, ang mga geriatrics ay merong sudden or prolonged drop in BP. Pwede silang magkaroon ng cerebral ischemia, thrombosis, embolism, infarction, anoxia, reduced gas exchange, and cerebral hypoxia. So, other factors affecting the elderly surgical patient in the operative period include the following. So, pwedeng impaired yung ability nila to increase metabolic rate, and impaired yung thermoregulatory mechanism nila kasi nga kaya making them mas susceptible sa hypothermia. Sa babae, mayroong 25% ng bone loss sa mga geria and 2% sa mga lalaki. Which is important yung manipulation and positioning nila during surgery. Nire-reduce din yung ability nila to adjust rapidly sa emotional and physical stress. Therefore, na-influensyahan yung surgical outcomes and requires meticulously observation of vital functions. So, ang mga elderly is mas kailangan nila ng mas konting anesthesia para magkaroon ng mas konting anesthetic para magkaroon ng anesthesia. So, na-eliminate yung anesthetic agent over a long mas matagal kasi sa kanila yun na i-excrete. Sa mga batang patient, mas madali ma-excrete yun. Percentage of lean body tissue is mababa na. And yung fatty tissue nila is nag-i-increase. Yung mga fatty tissue pa naman, attracted sila sa anesthetic agents. Kaya, kapag nag-induce ng anesthetic, is kumakapit yun sa mga or nagko-concentrate yun sa body fat and the brain. So, kapag mababa naman yung cholesterol levels, pwedeng dahil yun sa malnutrition, decreased plasma of protein levels pala, is more anesthetic agents. Kapag mababa yung plasma ng protein mo sa katawan, mas madaming anesthetic agents yung nag-i-stay sa katawan mo freely and unbounded. Kaya mas potent yung action nila. So, sa nursing care, responsibilities include providing safety and well-being of the patient, coordinating the OR personnel, performing scrub and circulating activities, the role of the patient advocate, intraoperative nurses monitor factors that can cause injury, patient position, equip malfunction, environmental hazards, protect the patient's dignity and interest, maintaining surgical standards of care, identifying existing patient risk factors, assisting in modifying complicating factors to help reduce operative case. So, as a circulating nurse, you have these main responsibilities. verifying consent, coordinating the team, ensuring cleanliness, proper temperature, humidity, lighting, and dapat safe functioning lahat ng equipments and available lahat ng supplies and materials. So, sabi ng American Society of Anesthesiologists Physical Status Classification System, ang P for patient ay merong, wait lang, skip muna natin. Tapos sabi natin ito sa susunod. P1, P2, so, niligaw siya. So, the circulating nurse monitors aseptic practices to avoid breaks in technique by coordinating the movement of related personnel, medical radiography, and laboratory. Monitor sila ng patient and documents specific activities throughout the operation to ensure the patient's safety and well-being. Prevent complications and achieve optimal patient outcomes. So, as a scrub nurse, you have this activities naman, surgical hand scrub, setting up sterile tables, preparing suture, ligatures, and special equipments katulad ng laparoscope, assisting the surgeon and surgical assistants during the procedure by anticipating instruments that will be required, such as sponges, drains, and other equipments. Ang anesthesiologist and anesthetist naman, sila yung nagme-maintain ng mamaya na. Patient's airway is maintained either through laryngeal mask or LMA or sa ET tube. During surgery, minamonitor yung patient's BP, pulse, respiration, ECG, and O2 levels. As a scrub roll, kapag sinarado na yung or surgical incision is closed, bibilangin mo together with circulator lahat ng needles, sponges, instruments, to be sure that they are accounted for and hindi na-retain yung foreign body sa loob ng patient. Tissue specimens obtained during surgery must also be labeled by the scrub person and sent to the laboratory ng circulating. So, roles of the surgical team. Circulating nurse, scrub roll, surgeon, RNFA, anesthesiologist, anesthetist. Tapos, ang role talaga ng nurse is maging patient advocate. So, as a surgeon, syempre ikaw yung nagpa-perform ng surgical procedure, ikaw yung head ng surgical team, and dapat may lisensya ka, MD, osteopath, DDS, DMD, DPM, and dapat may qualifications ka, meron ka dapat certification ng specialty board na JCAHO, and or Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organization Standards. Tapos dapat mag-adhere ka sa hospital standards and admitting practices and procedures. So, as anesthesiologist ulit, an anesthetist, yung anesthesiologist, physician siya, meaning doctor siya. Specifically trained siya sa art and science of anesthesiology. Pero kapag anesthetist, qualified healthcare professional siya na nag-administer ng anesthetic. Kadalasan sa mga anesthetists ay mga nurses na graduate from accredited nurse anesthesia program na pumasa sa examinations na sponsored ng American Association of Nurses Anesthetists para maging certified registered nurse anesthetist or CRNA. May interview, assess the patient prior to surgery, select the anesthesia, administer it, intubate the patient if necessary, manage any technical problems related to administration of anesthetic agents, and supervise the patient's condition throughout the surgical procedure. So, ito nga yung kanina. Describe the patient's general status and identify potential risks during surgery. So, ang P1 or patient 1 is a normally healthy patient na walang systemic or abnormality. Localized infection lang, walang fever, benign tumor, or hernia. Kapag P2 naman, merong mild systemic disease, well-controlled hypertension, well-controlled DM, chronic bronchitis, obesity, and age over 80. Pero kapag P3, ang patient ay merong severe systemic disease na hindi incapacitating and severe disease, compensated heart failure, MI less than 6 and more than 6 months ago, angina pectoris, severe dysrhythmias, cirrhosis, poorly controlled diabetes or hypertension, and ill use daw. Tapos babalik tayo dito sa 4. Ang patient na merong incapacitating systemic disease, constant threat yun sa life, severe heart failure, MI less than 6 months ago, severe respiratory failure, advanced liver or renal failure. So, ito naman yung sa 5. A moribund patient who is not expected to survive 24 hours with or without operation, unconscious patient with traumatic head injury, agonal cardiac rhythm. So, ang anesthesiologist and anesthetist daw, during surgery, minomonitor din nila yung patient, PV, blood gas levels, blood pH, alveolar gas concentration, body temperature, EEG, levels of anesthetic mass spectrometer, reads out of critical concentration levels on display terminals. So, the registered nurse first assistant, member siya ng OR staff, diba? Tapos nagpa-practice siya direct supervision ng surgeon. Dapat ang responsibilities niya is handling tissue, providing exposure at the operative field, suturing, providing hemostasis pala. Dapat magaling daw siya sa anaphy, tissue handling, and principles of surgical asepsis. So, infection, kung paano natin mapaprevent yung infection sa surgical environment, meron siyang 3 zones. Sa surgical environment, meron 3 zones, unrestricted, semi-restricted, and restricted zones. Meron ding surgical asepsis, environmental controls. So, sa may surgical environment, known siya for its stark appearance and cool temperature. Ang surgical suite is behind double doors, and access is limited to authorized personnel lang. External precautions include adhering to principles of surgical asepsis. Strict control of the OR environment is required, including traffic patterns and restrictions. So, the surgical environment, policies governing the surgical environment address issues such as the health of the staff, the cleanliness of the room, the sterility of the equipment and surfaces, the process of scrubbing, gowning, and gloving, and OR attire. So, principles of surgical asepsis prevents yung contamination of surgical wounds. Yung patient, merong natural skin flora, di ba? Or previously existing infection. Pwede yun mag-cause ng post-operative wound infection. Kailangan rigorous adherence tayo sa principles of asepsis para ma-prevent natin yung infections na yun. Para mag-provide tayo ng best possible conditions sa surgery, dapat ng OR ang located sa central ng all services. So, dapat surrounded siya ng pathology, radiology, and laboratory. Ang OR ay merong special air filtration device para ma-screen out yung contaminating particles, dust, and pollutants. Yung temperature, meron humidity and airflow patterns na kinokontrol. And to help decrease microbes, the surgical area is divided into 3 zones. Sinabi na kanina, unrestricted zone, semi-restricted zone, and restricted zone. So, sa unrestricted, pwedeng street clothes. Sa semi-restricted, kailangan naka-scrub clothes and caps. Pero sa restricted zone, dapat naka-scrub clothes, shoe cover, caps, mask, and yung mga surgeon and other surgical team members, minsan meron pa silang additional sterile clothing na ginagamit as protective devices during operation. So, ang OR attire ay dapat close-fitting cotton dresses, pantsuits, jumpsuits, gowns, knitted cuffs on sleeves, pants, and legs to prevent organism shed from the perineum, legs, and arms from being released to the surroundings. Ang shirt and waist and drawstring should be tucked inside the pants to prevent accidental contact with sterile objects to contain skin shedding. Ang laging nakamask sa restricted zone, high filtration mask dapat para hindi magkaroon ng post-operative wound infection by containing filtering microorganisms galing sa oropharynx and nasopharynx natin. Dapat fit tightly ang mask, nakakover ang nose, ang mouth, hindi nag-interfere with breathing, speech, or vision. Ang mask dapat ay pinapaltan kada patient and ang mask ay dapat hindi pwedeng nakasabit sa neck. Barriers such as scrub attire and mask do not entirely protect the patient from microorganisms. URTI, sore throats, and skin infections in staff and patients are sources of pathogens and must be reported. So, dito sinasabi na good health is very important sa members kasi nga, syempre pwede natin masama yung, ay mapasa yun sa mga patient. Then, artificial fingernails, yung mga cutics, mga fake nails is nag-harbor ng microorganisms and hindi siya pwede sa hospital. Nagkakos sila ng nosocomial infections. And ayan, ang artificial nails ay binaban sa mga OR personnel. Sabi ng CDC, AORN, Association of Professionals in Infection Control. Dapat short and natural lang ang nails. Basic guidelines for surgical asepsis, lahat ng materials in contact with the wound is dapat sterile and dapat nasa sterile field. Gowns ay dapat sterile sa harap from chest to the level of the sterile field and ng sleeves from 2 inches above the elbow to the cuff. Only the top of the drape is considered sterile during draping. And yung mga nasa baba nun is hindi na. Items dispensed by methods to preserve sterility, movements of the surgical team are from sterile to sterile and sterile to unsterile only. Movement around the sterile field must not cause contamination to the field. Dapat 1 foot ang distance natin from sterile field. Whenever a sterile barrier is breached, contaminated ng area. Every sterile field is constantly maintained and monitored. Items of adopted sterility. So, yung mga items na feeling mo ang sterile, dapat considered mo na sila unsterile. And yung mga sterile field is dapat na-prepare sila closely sa time of use. And para meron din tayo environmental controls para mabawasan yung amount of bacteria sa air. So, standard OR ventilation dapat meron 15 air exchanges kada isang oras. Sa may laminar airflow units naman, meron 400 to 500 air exchange kada isang oras. Exposure to the blood and body fluids, hazards associated with laser beams, exposure to latex, radiation, and toxic agents. Yun yung mga health hazards na associated sa surgical environment. So, sa surgical experience, ang patient ay mayroong sedation, anesthesia, or combination ng dalawa. Ang laser risk ay warning signs should be clearly posted to alert personnel while lasers are in use, reducing possibility of the exposing eyes and skin to the laser beams, preventing inhalation of laser plume, smoke, or particulate matter, protecting the patient and personnel from fire and electrical hazards. Double gloving sa blood and bodily fluids, meron tayong double gloving, lalo-lalo na sa mga bone, kasi nga sharp yung bone. Minsan nagsusuot din ng rubber boots, waterproof apron and sleep protectors, nakagagas din minsan, di kaya face shield, para hindi tumalsik sa face yung mga bone, full bubble mask, para sa full barrier protection. Sa laser risk, nurses and all the intraoperatively personnel is merong eye examination bago mag-participate doon. Special protective goggles ang ginagamit doon. Latex allergy naman, early identification ng patient na may latex allergy, preparation for latex allergy supply cart, maintenance of latex allergy precautions throughout the preoperative period. So, we also have post-operative nursing management. Dito is yung i-admit ng patient sa PACU. So, provide care of the patient until he has recovered sa effects ng anesthesia hanggang sa ma-resume na yung motor and sensory function niya, maging oriented siya, maging stable yung VS niya, and wala ng hemorrhage or other complications. Tapos, dapat laging vital signs. So, sa post-anesthesia care unit, ang PACU ay dapat tahimik, malinis, free of unnecessary equipment when ventilated din. Ang mga beds ay easily movable and meron 3 phases. Phase 1, immediate recovery phase, intensive nursing care is provided. Phase 2, patient is prepared for self-care. Phase 3, patient is prepared for discharge. Discharge planning, discharge assessment, provide written verbal instructors, maintain patent airway, primary consideration, maintain ventilation and oxygenation, provide supplemental oxygen as indicated, assess breathing, placing hand near the face to feel the air movement, keep head elevated 15 to 30, yung angle, maliwanag lang kung contraindicated, may require suctioning. If vomiting occurs, turn the patient to the side. So, sa oral airway, hindi tatanggalin ang oral airway hanggat hindi pa nagagag reflex yung patient. So, maintaining cardiovascular stability, monitor all indicators of cardiovascular status, assess all IV lights, potential for hypertension, hemorrhage, dysrhythmias, and hypertension. So, wound healing, sa first intention wound healing, scar formation is minimal. Sa second intention wound healing, granulation, abscess ng wound kung saan yung edges ay hindi approximated. Third intention wound healing, Secondary suture, deep wounds either have not been sutured or break down and resutured later. So, ang wound dehiscence is disruption ng surgical incision or wound. Kapag evisceration naman is or nagprotrude yung wound contents. Tapos na.